First Nation. We have Chief Leonard Jackson from Saddle Lake Cree Nation, Alberta. And we have Councillor Shannon Houle for Saddle Lake Cree Nation. We have Chief Jeremy Forehorns for Pie Pot First Nation. And we have Richard Ironquill, Councillor for Pepeeksies First Nation. And we have council here that are in the back. We have our elder, Jacob Pete, that is here as well. And our councilors from Cutterchow, and we have band member reps from Palmaker as well, and Kihiu and Ken Dion.
Sorry, Chief, you have 7 First Nations represented here, is that right?
No, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's a few other chiefs that are supposed to be here that we don't know if they're going to show up late or what. And the first one that will be making comments here will be Chief Fox, and then successive chiefs after that. Put your phones on vibrate. Oops.
Supper.
Oh, and I forgot, sorry about that. We have Vice Chief Dutch Leroy here for FSIN, who's been, been working with us, as diligently on behalf of his office here. So we want to thank Vice Chief Leroy. If you can join us at the table, sir.
Now we have 74 communities represented here.
Let us know when to start, and
Oh, yeah. Flag wherever is ready to go.
You guys ready to go?
English River Chief. The English River Chief Engineer.
yeah, she is unable to, Chief Mary Black, who's the English River First Nation Chief, was unable to make it, but she's in support, and she's offered up her boardroom to be used for this conference conference. And Chief Derek Neepanak from Grand Chief for Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs will be doing a press conference in support of this as well today. Thanks. All right, we'll get started. Yeah.
Well, good morning. I'm here representing our Cree Nation, Onion Lake, Treaty 6, which is in Treaty 6 territory. And Onion Lake Cree Nation calls for a bilateral direct transfer agreement. It's with due diligence and careful consideration, Onion Lake Cree Nation has decided not to sign the proposed 2014-15 amended agreement. The nation invites Canada to enter into good faith bilateral negotiations funded on the spirit and the intent of Treaty Number 6. As the treaty partner with the Crown, Cree peoples have upheld their end of the deal in sharing the vast tract of land, 136,000 square miles, vested to us by Kisimanatu, our Creator, the witness to Treaty Number 6. We intend to pursue our entitlement as treaty partners on behalf of our 5,500 Onion Lake citizens. Since 1876, Canada has enjoyed the benefits of the Treaty Lagresse, which entails revenues from source extraction and the use of the Indian Trust Fund. The general public must understand the bounty harvested from the resources and the use of our lands for over 130 years with no benefit to our nations. Why should we be subject to administering our own poverty and misery through these instruments called contribution funding agreements intended to domesticate our treaty? Treaty number 6 territory encompasses 1/3 of the current day provinces of Alberta and Saskatchewan. The gross domestic product reported from national provincial systems of account point towards a very healthy income arising annually out of Treaty number 6 territory, possibly 100 billion or more a year. On the matter of the Indian Trust Fund, all monies transferred to Onion Lake, Cree Nation, and all treaty nations for capital, general administration, and essential services is drawn from the interest of these trusts, as is the entire Indian Affairs budget of their operations. The Indian Trust Fund is valued in the trillions of dollars and earns an annual interest rate of over $35 billion. No taxpayer dollars are used to pay for anything used by treaty peoples over 150 years. In fact, the Supreme Court of Canada ruled the government to turn the trust over to the trustees selected by treaty peoples. The government refuses to act on that ruling. While Canada's Indian Act violates the Canadian Constitution, international law, and the rule of law, in fact, the Canadian state does not have legal title to this land, nor legal sovereignty within the borders known as Canada. Onion Lake Cree Nation sends this message to the government: adhere to international law regarding treaty, recognize Indigenous title to land, recognize Indigenous sovereignty over the land, and cease and desist with the social engineering project known as Indian policy. Onion Lake Cree Nation has submitted a written response expressing concerns with the contents of the funding and outstanding unresolved issues from 2013 and 14. Amending agreement that it has signed under duress, a position that the arrangement has no legal force or effect. Onion Lake Cree Nation calls for a direct bilateral transfer entitlement agreement between government to government treaty relations. We have recently had a number of general meetings in our community and were given the mandate not to sign the amended agreement by our membership within our territory. And this is the purpose of this conference call, and out of respect and autonomy, I wish not to speak for the rest of the chiefs here, my colleagues. But this is Onion Lake's position at this point in time. We will not sign this amended agreement until such time as the appropriate departments come to the table and sit with us. Thank you.
Chief Wayne?
Good morning. As the chief of the Little Pine Cree Nation, we are here to support all our Treaty 6 First Nations in this push. It is time for the Government of Canada to step up to the table and work respectfully with us. Indian Affairs has no mandate to deal on any of these issues, so certainly, according to the